Hello, in this video I'm gonna show you all the camera features on Samsung Galaxy S25. So let's open the camera and I'm gonna explain everything in the camera app. So here at the bottom we have the mode switching. So here is the portrait, so you can take a portrait of someone and it'll look pretty great because it'll make the background blurry and the face will be like more in focus with some better lighting or some adjustments, smoothing, etc. You can also click on this button right here to change the modes within the portrait, so it'll just look differently, so you can test it out yourself. Then you can go to the photo, so you just take photos here, then the video as well. So you can just click on the shutter button, start video, then click on it again to stop it. Then you can also go to more, and here are all of the different modes which I'm gonna explain in a moment. But before that, let's go to the photo, and as you can see here are your taken photos. So after you click on this button, you'll see the photos that have been taken. This button is for switching the camera to front or rear. In the rear camera you can also change the lens, so now it'll be ultra wide, then it'll be standard and telescopic, which are just zooms, so you can zoom up to 30 times. Pretty good. Now let's move on to the next thing, which is settings at the top. So you can, for example, turn on the flashlight, turn off, set it to auto, or turn it on. So I'm gonna turn it off. Then here you can change the resolution. When it's in 50 megapixels, then the file size will be just larger. So if you don't really need it, then I'll suggest switching back to 12 megapixels. But in case you need something to have 50 megapixels, then you can just switch to that. Then here you also have the motion photo, so you can turn this option on. Then when you take a photo, after taking the photo, it'll keep recording a video for a moment. So then when you play this photo, you can click on view motion photo, and it'll actually like show the video of it, so it's pretty great to catch your moments. Then here are the filters, so you can also add filters onto your photo, and it also looks pretty great. Then let's move on to this button right here, which allows you to open settings, which I'm going to explain in a moment. It also shows all of the other stuff like the timer, the format. You can set it to, for example, 9:16. Then the exposure. Then also the face enhancements, like smoothing it out, making your eyes bigger, and so on. So these are the options here. In the video mode, you can also enable something called super steady on, so it'll make the camera better stabilized. You can turn on or off HDR, so HDR is high dynamic range, which improves the colors. Then you can also click on this option right here to change the size and the FPS in the video. So these are the options in the video, and in portrait you basically only have that option to turn on flashlight. Then in all of these options you also have the night mode. So as I put my phone, so it's dark here, then it shows the night mode, which I can turn off or on, and when I turn it on, then it'll take a moment longer to take the photo, so you need to hold your phone still, but it'll take it lighter, brighter, and more visible. So now let's go to the more. and see what do we have here. So here is expert raw, so it just will take a photo in a raw format, so it's great to import it to your computer and edit it in like Lightroom or something to make it just look better. You can edit the colors more with the raw format because it contains more information within the file. Then there is the Pro format, which allows you to like change the ISO manually. Then you can also change the shutter speed manually, like that, so you can mess around with it. You can also find information online on how to adjust the ISO and shutter speed to make it actually look good on the photo. Then we also have the Pro Video, which is just the Pro mode but in video. Then there is the Night mode, which takes night photos. Then the Food mode, which will take photos on the food and make them look better. Then is Panorama, which allows you to click on the camera button, then start rotating your phone, and it'll take a panorama, which is just a wide shot, so it's great for landscape and other good views of cities or nature. Then you can go to more again and see slow motion, so you'll record a video that will be later slowed down, so you can view the moments that you've recorded in slow motion. The hyperlapse is the opposite. It'll take a video which will be just sped up. Then the portrait video, which is basically the portrait mode but in video. Then dual rec, which allows you to take the video and photo at the same time. Then you can also select the lenses, like front, ultra wide, wide, telephoto, so you can select any of those. You can, for example, select wide and telephoto at the same time. So for example, you can see here in top right corner there are icons. The one has a frame, other one has like the square inside highlighted, so the one with the square inside will be the smaller picture-in-picture one, and the telephoto will be now the whole screen. So you can switch them up by just clicking on them. You can see how it switches, and you can, for example, do something like let's say I'll turn on the ultra wide and telephoto, and I'll make the telephoto on whole screen, then ultra wide in this little window right here, which, yes, you can move it, as you can see. So now I'm gonna record a video and show you what it basically means. So now I can record the video, and you can see it records from these both cameras. So it's like really good for some reasons, like to record your sport, for example. You can just mess around with it as well. Then there is the single take, which it says that pre-recording is on, so it'll like record the 5 seconds before the photo. Then you can take it. It'll like take it for 15 more seconds, and this will basically turn it into a photo that will be like, just, you can see it has the clip. You can rewind it, fast forward, crop it, or whatever. It really has different features which you also just need to mess around with. Now let's go to the last thing, which will be the settings. So I'm gonna click on the settings. Then here you have option to enable or disable scanning documents and texts. So if you take a photo of a document, then it'll just scan that. You can copy the text and do more. Then scanning QR codes, I recommend having that enabled, so you can quickly scan a QR code with your camera app. Then shot suggestions, you can enable them. It'll suggest some guides to help you line up great shots. Then intelligent optimization, it'll optimize the photo mode as well. You can also enable scene optimizer, which will change the colors on the photo. Then there is swipe shutter button too, and when you swipe the shutter button too, then you can either take burst shot or create GIF. So I'm gonna set it to that. Then you can enable the Samsung watermark, so it'll just display your watermark. Then advanced picture options like high efficiency pictures. Pro mode picture format, you can set it to, for example, RAW, so the pictures taken with the Pro mode will be in RAW. Then motion pro capture, motion photo capture, you can set it to either the before and after shutter or before shutter only. Then let's see what else do we have here. Save selfies as previewed, so if that is enabled, then the selfies will be mirrored. So if you take a photo and on the right side of the preview is your hand, then it'll stay like that. Let me show you that when I enable it. Then when I take a selfie, it works only in selfies, and I put my hand here on the right side, then it takes a photo with the hand on the right side. Because if I disable that option, then when I take a photo with my hand here, then you can see it flips it, so it's more like you can see the texts on my camera, like the Sony is now flipped, so it's actually like in real life, like it was taken with the back camera, and here you can see it is mirrored. So now I'm gonna go to here. We have other options like swipe up down to switch cameras, so you can just swipe up or down on the preview to switch between the front and back camera. Then auto FPS, you can set that auto FPS for your videos. Then you can enable or disable video stabilization, and here are the advanced video options, which are pretty complicated, but you can turn them on or off and mess around with them as well. Then here are other settings that I don't think are quite that important, besides the shooting methods, which are pretty great, the voice commands, which allows you to say smile, cheese, capture or shoot to take a photo, or record a video to start recording video. Then floating shutter button is not really important in my opinion, but you can turn it on, then it'll show a floating shutter button on your screen, so you can like move it anywhere on the screen, so you don't have to press here to take a photo. You can, for example, set it here or anywhere. Then show palm to take a selfie. So as you might have noticed, when I was taking a selfie, when I showed my palm in front of the camera, it has taken a photo. And then here are like settings to keep. So here when you enable something, then if you close the camera up and reopen it, then the setting of that category will be saved. And these are basically the most important settings in the camera app. And that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.